What's up, guys? Bang, bang. Lunch money time. While Wall Street's trying to get rich, the rest of us just trying to get our lunch money right. I'm here with the beautiful, intelligent Polina Ivailova Marinova Pompliano, P-I-M-P, pimp in the house. What's up, girl?
What's up, boy?
Ooh, she got the Devil Wears Prada outfit on today, ready to savage me. Are you good? Are you good?
Who's our sponsor today, Anthony?
Are you good? Ooh, I think Polina's annoyed with me. It's fine. I was bugging the hell out of her before we got started, but that's okay because it's Friday. Sponsor today is BlockFi. BlockFi has 3 products. You can buy and sell crypto. You can take crypto and deposit it in a BlockFi account and take out a US dollar loan against it, so you don't have to sell your crypto, but you can still get US dollar liquidity. And lastly, they've got a product that is my favorite. I'm an investor in the business and a user of this product, which is the interest-bearing account. If you put your money into a bank account, you get like 0.05% or 0.03% interest. If you put this into an interest-bearing account at BlockFi, they turn it into a stable coin, or you can deposit crypto and earn up to 8.6% APY. 8.6% APY. There's risk. Do your own research, but I like it. I like getting my check every Monday, first Monday of the month. Go to blockfi.com/lunchmoney. Blockfi.com/lunchmoney. Do it. What's up?
Are you done?
Are you done?
Fortnite.
Hey, by the way, don't think that we don't realize these little. You got these little frilly things going on here. I like them. Yeah. Ooh, let's go. What's up? What's Fortnite?
Fortnite developer Epic Games is suing Apple and Google after both pulled Epic's hit game Fortnite from their app stores over direct payment disputes. Ooh.
What do you think about this?
I think that Apple and Google are going to do whatever they want, but that doesn't mean that Fortnite can't come at them and sue them.
Epic Games just did a corporate surprise attack. That's what just happened here. So for context, Apple requires any app that's in their app store to give 30% of digital purchases to Apple. Sounds reasonable, right? Until you realize that one is a monopoly, so there's no free competition. 2 is you realize that they don't evenly apply these rules to everyone. And then 3 is that they have become more emboldened over time to the point where now they basically believe any commerce that happens on an iPhone that's not on the internet should be 30% to Apple.
But is this new? Did they just start doing that?
Yes.
Or
they just started actually enforcing the rules.
On Fortnite?
No. So long story short is there's companies like Audible and Netflix that the workaround for this was Audible, for example, what used to tell you can't buy anything in the app. You have to go to the web. You have to put your credit card in. You can buy the audiobooks on the web, and then they'll download on the mobile app, and you can listen to them on the mobile app. But the purchases happened off the mobile app, so that Apple didn't get a cut. Netflix, same thing. You couldn't buy a Netflix membership in-app. You had to go to the web, sign up there, and then you could use the mobile app. Now what we're getting is people are started to do that. So like Basecamp's Hey email, and Apple said, no, you're not allowed to do that anymore. And Basecamp's like, well, wait a second. Netflix is still doing it, right? Or another example is Amazon launched their Amazon Prime Video, the mobile app for that, and Apple allowed them to use their own credit card payment processor inside the app. Right? So the rules are not equally applied, even though Apple continues to say that they are. It's very obvious. There's very distinct examples where it's not. And so what Epic basically did is they said, when you go to buy a digital good inside of Fortnite, they hit you with a pop-up. And the pop-up presented 2 opportunities. You can buy this through Apple and pay the full price. Or if you buy it through Epic, right, so you circumvent Apple, they'll give you a 20% discount. And so because Epic was saving 30% on every purchase, basically they were passing 20% of that on to the customer. So of course the customers all started buying the digital goods through Epic rather than Apple because they got 20% discount. Apple saw this, kicked them off. But it became very apparent very quickly. This was a surprise attack. So when Apple kicked them off, they immediately served Apple with a lawsuit. So the lawsuit was obviously pre-written. And then they set up a commercial, and they're running a commercial inside the Fortnite game right now that is a mocking of Apple's famous 1984 commercial. And what they're basically saying is like, we stood up to Apple, and Apple's trying to prevent billions of people from playing our game, like free Fortnite, and like together we can stand up to the man.
In the lawsuit, it says Apple is bigger, more powerful, more entrenched, and more pernicious than monopolies of yesteryear. Apple's size and reach far exceeds that of any technology monopolist in history. Isn't that so funny? Because I literally remember being in middle school, and my friend's dad was some sort of graphic designer. They had an Apple in their home, and I was like, wow, what is that? And it's like, they're trying to stand up to the man, and they're small and whatever. And it's just like
every disruptor becomes the man if they're successful. At one point, Bill Gates was the disruptor. He was the guy in the garage. Steve Jobs was the guy in the garage. They were trying to take down the incumbents, take down the monopolies of their years. But if you are successful, you end up becoming the monopoly, right? And that's what we're watching. So I actually think that Apple's going to have to cave on this. Regulators aren't going to allow them to do it. Epic Games, shout out to you guys. Epic Games, by the way, is based in Cary, North Carolina, where I grew up. And you always knew where their office was because in the shopping center where they had their office, they had a bunch of Ferraris and Lamborghinis and
Did
stuff.
you ever play Fortnite?
No, I've actually never played Fortnite. I'm not really into those types of video games. Now, Madden... Ooh, y'all can come get some of that.
Guys,
I've never lost a Madden game in my life. Ask my brothers.
We'll
never.
See. One time we went to this arcade or sports bar or something. I don't know. It just had those games. And we played Mario Kart, remember? And there were 4 screens. So we played with 2 other people. And the entire game I played. And then... and then I realized that I actually lost because I was looking at the wrong... square on the screen. I thought somebody else was me, and I thought I was playing so well, but in reality it looks like I wasn't.
So long story short is Polina, just like she's never beat me in chess, has never beat me in a video game
Not
either.
true. We're
All
playing
right, what's
chess
up with
tonight.
Fanatics?
We're playing chess tonight. Sports retailer Fanatics closed a $350 million investment round, a sign of investor confidence in the combination of online shopping and official sports merchandise. Okay, hold on. So with the funding round closing, Fanatics is now valued at roughly $6.2 billion after raising about $1.5 billion since 2011. So I just don't understand. I thought sports were dead.
No, so the Fanatics business model basically is it's an online shopping store, right? Just
is it like merch?
Yeah, it's basically merch, but the key is that they have gotten licenses from every major sports in America. So they've gone to the NFL, the NBA, MLB, etc., and so they can sell all the jerseys, all of the licensed materials and merchandise. I did not know. My brother actually wrote about this morning. If you go to readhuddleup.com, he writes something. He writes an email every single day at readhuddleup.com about the business and money behind sports. And so I was reading it this morning, and Michael Rubin had a company called GSI Commerce. Michael Rubin is the CEO of Fanatics. And GSI Commerce bought the company Fanatics back in, I think it was like 2009 or 2011, whenever it was, for about $277 million in cash and stock. Michael turned around and sold GSI to eBay for about $2.4 billion, right? So he had a holding company. He bought Fanatics. Then he sold his holding company to eBay. eBay said, look, we just want the payment technology you have. So we're going to sell you back all of the underlying subsidiaries. So Rue La La, Fanatics, a couple of others. And since then, Michael Rubin has basically raised the $1.5 billion, which is now $1.8 billion. He's built that Fanatics business into a $6+ billion company. And so it's one of these stories where the entrepreneur understood a market, was able to build a business, sell it, bought back a piece of it, now grew that to be even bigger than the original sale. And Michael Rubin is a billionaire at this point, and he owns the Philadelphia 76ers.
It's pretty crazy that he started the business in 1995.
Yeah. Well, I think that the Fanatics business started in 1995. Michael Rubin bought it in around 2010, but he didn't actually found Fanatics. He bought it from 2 brothers, and then he scaled it basically. So shout out Fanatics, shout out Michael Rubin, Meek Mill, what up?
Yep.
Plano doesn't even know what I just said. All right.
Meek Mill, what up?
Yeah, Meek Mill.
Okay, ready?
He's boys with Rubin. Go ahead.
Rubin's the one who did that website during COVID.
All In Challenge.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So this is kind of strange and interesting. Yale University's undergraduate admissions process illegally discriminates against white and Asian students, the Department of Justice said Thursday. A 2-year investigation into the Ivy League school found that race is the determinative factor in hundreds of admissions decisions each year, which is a violation of Title 6?
11.
No.
Yes, it's
VS5.
6.
Oh my God. I was like,
it's VI,
Title
which is
6
in
of
Roman
the
numerals.
Civil Rights Act of 1964, the DOJ said.
Can I go on my hot take?
Is this going to be a rant of the day?
Yeah.
Don't want to hear it.
Listen, the craziest part to me is people try to solve racism with more racism. If you use race to make a decision, it is racism. It doesn't matter if you're doing that for white people, black people, purple people, green people, Asian people, whatever. It doesn't matter. If you make decisions based on race, it is racism. And so that is what the DOJ is coming. Think about this. Yale just got found to be guilty of essentially racism. They call, what is the terminology they use? They call it something, go all the way to the top.
I didn't see.
Illegal discrimination is what they call it, which AKA is racism. So it's illegal discrimination on racism. Yale just got accused of and found to be racist against white people. Think about that. How crazy is that?
So,
right? It's because we've gotten into a culture and a world where we think that to solve one problem, we can basically leverage the same thing against other people. But if you want to solve the problem with quotas and all this stuff, all you're doing is you're just shifting the racism somewhere else.
So how do you solve it?
So this is the complex part, right? There has to be a solution. But what you end up having to do is you have to get away from building a system, right? The first system that was built was highly racist towards African Americans and other people, right? So there's a bunch of groups that there was racism going on. The numbers are like so compelling that racism existed in system one. Then people realized that problem and they said, let's build a second system. But the problem is that they baked in racism in the second system as well. It's just they shifted it against somebody else. And then they were like, oh, well, nobody can be racist against Asians, for example. But then the Department of Justice, this isn't some like crazy website or blog. The Department of Justice had a 2-year probe that found this to be true. And so what you have to do is you have to back up and you have to realize, wait a second, why are we making college admission decisions based on race? That's what's going on here.
Yeah.
And so what you have to do is you have to move to a system that one recognizes the unconscious bias.
Right.
There's absolutely bias, right? So you have to build into the system. The NFL, for example, one of the things that the NFL did that I thought was really interesting is they said every single time that a head coaching job becomes available, they attack the interview process.
Yeah.
So they say you have to, and I forget the exact details. I think it's either one minority or multiple minorities.
I think ESPN did something similar in their hiring process.
So it says, look, we're still going to hire the best person for the job, but to ensure that there is a fair opportunity, you have to use race as the interview process. So the decision isn't based on race, but the actual process, making sure that you're getting a diverse audience.
It's not just race. It's also ethnicity and gender and all that. Just having a diverse group of people all have an equal shot at that job. I thought this was actually an interesting quote. So Eric Dryban, the Assistant Attorney General for the Department's Civil Rights Division, said in the press release, "There is no such thing as a nice form of race discrimination. Unlawfully dividing Americans into racial and ethnic blocks fosters stereotypes, bitterness, and division. It is past time for American institutions to recognize that all people should be treated with decency and respect and without unlawful regard for the color of their skin."
Yeah, and by the way, here's the crazy part, is the quote-unquote nice form of race discrimination, right, is one, true. That's basically what people's defense of this is. But the second piece is that the folks that I know, right? So I'm not going to name any names, but I know a number of, let's take Asian or African American people who went to Ivy League schools. Mm-hmm. And when you talk to them, they're actually incredibly kind of honest about it, right? So I know a bunch of guys who played football, for example, and they're like, hey, dude, if I couldn't run fast, I wasn't getting in that school, right? I believe that about where I went to school. If I couldn't run fast, I wasn't getting into the school. If they look at it and they say, oh, and by the way, my race helped me. Like they're cognizant of it. They don't agree with it, but they're cognizant of it. And so what you end up doing is when you have a system, you can't blame the people. Of course, the people are going to just tell me the rules of the system. If I have an advantage to get the thing that I want, of course, they're going to leverage it. And so ultimately, it just goes back on the school. The school has to do a good job, and they have to spend the time, money, and energy. If you want more diversity on your campus, then you have to go find the diverse students. You can't make the decision, but there's plenty of people of all races that meet the qualifications to get into Yale or any other school. Go find them.
And here's the thing, like I encountered going to the University of Georgia, which is predominantly white. when I was in those classes, you could look at me and you could think I'm white, but at the same time, I bring a sense of diversity that some of those kids had never known. Like, I didn't speak English until I was 9. My parents are immigrants. Like, I have a different perspective, even though the color of my skin may put me in a certain category.
Look, the whole thing is stupid when you break down the fact that you never know somebody's story. Right. Polina and I have a very diverse group of friends to the point where literally 2 of our favorite people in the world are people who came to the United States from Pakistan. They literally lived in a village with no internet 7 years ago.
It's crazy.
And they're now here and they run a business that's worth tens of millions of dollars, right? Go buy Adam's shoes. But the whole idea is like they went from no internet to today being highly successful. And when you meet them, you don't know, were they born in the United States? Were they born somewhere else? What languages they spoke growing up? Like, you know, all that stuff.
Be curious. Well, I just think it's all about just being curious. And I think that the reason we have such a diverse group of friends is because we genuinely like interesting people with interesting stories.
Yeah. My whole belief in life is just winners win. That's it. If you're a winner, you'll win. Don't worry.
Okay. Barstool Sports' Dave Portnoy buys Bitcoin after Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss went to his office and pitched him on it.
They didn't go to his office. They went to his Hampton home.
Sorry, I obviously didn't watch this, but you did.
Dave Portnoy is going to be a billionaire. Look, this is great. I mean, absolutely comical.
He's calling himself the Baron of Bitcoin.
Look, Portnoy gets marketing and social media better than most people. I think that there's this whole world of crypto that's super excited about him coming in. Cameron and Tyler, I think, did a great job in terms of just getting him in to Bitcoin. As I continue to say to people, once you buy an asset, I don't care if it's real estate, stocks, Bitcoin, gold, whatever it is, you start paying attention, right? You got skin in the game. And so Portnoy, of course, can't do anything slowly. So I think he bought a couple $100,000 worth of Bitcoin yesterday. And so now he's already tweeting about it. I saw him tweeting memes and all kinds of crazy stuff. You know, I've got deep conviction there, but we'll see how it plays out.
So, but he was watching the video. He was like cracking up.
Oh, I mean, it's hysterical because it was the classic example of like, once you've gone down this rabbit hole and you understand Bitcoin, you understand that gold's not scarce, you understand the Federal Reserve System, like you understand provable scarcity, like it to people who do it every day, we're just like, duh. When you look at though, people who have no clue, like Portnoy was like, wait, what? There's gold on asteroids and Elon Musk is going to mine them. Right. And he's literally looking at him like, are you guys joking? And they're like, no, we're dead serious. And so it's just, once you get down the rabbit hole, like your mind gets blown, right?
Yeah.
And then people go and buy more Bitcoin. All right, what's up?
Okay. So the owner of shared office provider WeWeork told employees on Thursday that it has slashed its cash burn rate almost in half from the end of last year and obtained a $1.1 billion commitment in new funding from majority owner SoftBank. What is SoftBank doing? I thought they kind of backed out.
I actually think that SoftBank is going to probably not make a lot of money here, but WeWork's going to get...
I feel like I have to sneeze. Oh, no.
But okay, WeWork's going to get into a great financial position.
Why?
It's just a thing where like they have so much revenue and it was all expenses. And when you slash the expenses, I think they'll still keep high level of revenue. And so eventually they'll get to some level of profitability. Like revenue in the quarter reached $882 million. So the company does almost $4 billion in annual revenue. And it was up 9% from a year earlier. Right.
Yeah.
So think about that. Like they've already done basically $2 billion in revenue in Q1, Q2 this year. And so I think that...
wow. Do we think there'll be a WeWork comeback?
Well, I think it'll just turn into a profitable business, right? And they've got a bunch of debt, and they got to kind of figure some stuff out. But I do think that actually this business could be super profitable. And I also think that they had to burn the cash that they burnt to get to the position they got.
Yeah.
It was just they didn't clean it up before they tried to go public. They basically tried to go public with like, you know, the trash can on fire.
Yeah.
If they had simply put the fire out and said, hey, look, we're not burning as much cash anymore. We're going to get rid of all kind of the crazy, you know, not nefarious, but like incestual type stuff. I actually think that this would have been a huge success. Jeff Lewis from Bedrock told me once, he goes, the difference between WeWork being super successful and ending up the way that they did was a matter of like a week. Like if they'd gotten out a week earlier.
Well,
it would be in the public markets, and this wouldn't have blown up.
Life catches you like that.
True.
If we had planned our wedding exactly a month before.
Well, if you had listened to me and we got married when I said that we should have, then been right.
Guys, we have been looking for a dining room table, and now like all of the ads are dining room tables.
Nobody cares about your ad preferences on the internet.
It's crazy.
Michigan plans to redesign a stretch of road for self-driving cars.
Can you read the internet?
I did read.
Okay, so Michigan is teaming up with tech and auto companies to attempt to retrofit a roughly 40-mile stretch of 2 roads outside Detroit exclusively for self-driving vehicles. I've always wondered why they don't just, how one lane is always usually for those trucks. Why don't they just automate or like make that self-driving and only have that lane for them?
Well, so there's a couple of things here. I'm guessing when they say retrofit, what they're going to basically do is they're going to put a lot of sensors and cameras and all that kind of stuff on this stretch of road. That makes the cars infinitely more effective.
Sensors and cameras.
Oh, it's like I understand how self-driving cars work.
Physical barriers may be added as well, which make it easier for the vehicles to drive safely.
Yeah, because think about it, right? The way that a self-driving car does is either they use cameras or they use like a sonar type thing. And so one of the big issues is on a highway, if it can just see the lines on the road and it just follows it, and then it basically just reads the car in front of it and make sure it doesn't slam into it, like that's all pretty simple from a computer science perspective. When you add other cars on the road,
you mean computer vision perspective?
Well, when all of a sudden you add other cars on the road and people are doing crazy stuff, right? It's like when I was a kid, my dad used to tell me all the time, he's like, I'm not worried about you doing something. I'm worried about the other people on the road. Now, little did I know he actually was worried about me too. He's trying to just give me some confidence.
You're the other people on the road.
The best thing is when you learn to drive. You remember when you went driving for the driving test? My favorite moment, I've talked to my brothers about this and it's theirs as well, is when you go on the highway and you're on the on-ramp and the person's like, faster, faster, faster.
They did not need to tell me to go faster.
And you're going like, you're first like at 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and then they're just like, faster. And I remember when the woman said it to me, I just punched the gas and we went from like 60 to like 85. She's like, slow down, slow down, slow down.
Yeah.
What?
Nothing.
Did you pass the first time?
Of course.
Oh, okay.
I'm an excellent driver, guys.
Did you have to do the parallel parking?
Yeah.
You did it?
Yeah, it was like way too big. I was like, that's so easy. I thought it was going to be super tight. They put the cones like a mile away. Also, on my test, the guy who was next to me, this was like, I took it like 7 a.m. and he wouldn't, like, he'd be like, go right. And I'd be like, excuse me? And he's like, I can't repeat it. And I was like, well, I didn't hear you. It's not that I don't know how to go right. It's that I didn't hear what you said. So I just like went. And then when I finished and I passed, he was like, by the way, you need to follow directions better. It's like, what the hell is that? I couldn't hear you. Speak up, enunciate.
My man, if you're watching this,
enunciate.
She ain't learned to follow directions any better now. Don't worry. All right. So do we like this idea?
What I do, but I just don't understand why they haven't done it yet. Like our Roomba can recognize a chair from a mile away and doesn't slam into it.
It runs into all kinds of stuff.
Very gently, to be clear.
Okay, so the Roomba is actually stupid. Got it. By the way, every single road at some point in the future is going to be armed for this stuff.
Okay, I have a great joke for today, guys. Are you ready?
Yeah, what's up, Devil Wears Prada?
What do you call a dinosaur with an extensive vocabulary?
A Raptosaurus.
No, I was going to say you.
I do have great command of the American language.
A thesaurus.
You think that was funny?
Yes.
I did not. By the way, I just want to call out the fact that I actually like this shirt that you're wearing today.
Nobody cares.
No, but you have medieval sleeves.
No, my sleeves are perfect.
I just like them. That's all. That's all I wanted to say. All right, guys, that's it for Lunch Money this week. We appreciate it. As you can see, we have tried to upgrade a little bit. We got this nice camera. We got these microphones. We're going to have a background soon. Yeah, guys. When the background comes, you guys ain't going to be ready.
A lot of you voted for the Bitcoin thing. I did see... and I did.
You got destroyed in the vote.
I did look up the history of the picture that I like, and it is not great.
What's the problem? What is it?
Just a lot of problems.
Okay. It's controversial.
Basically, he grabbed a random woman on the street and kissed her as he was on the way to visit his girlfriend or whatever. But anyway, he was just so happy. But she didn't want to get kissed. Like, who the hell is this guy?
Oh, he was so happy.
That
so he
just grabbed this nurse and kissed her or whatever, and somebody from Life magazine captured the photo. But then his other girl found out because it was on the cover of everything. I don't know. I think the controversy is more the woman did not want to be kissed by this random dude. So anyway, okay. We'll put up your Bitcoin art. I'm
so
fine.
You had a picture of molestation?
No.
I think that's the definition for
No.
that. Okay.
All
All
right.
right, guys. That's it for today. Well, Wash is trying to get rich. So let's just trying to get her lunch money right. Bang, bang. See you tomorrow. Or Monday, I guess.
Bang, bang. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Lunch Money as much as we did.
And don't forget, Lunch Money is now sponsored by BlockFi, so go check them out. There's a link in the description that you can click on. I'm an investor, a user, and a huge fan. What?
You're a bigger fan of BlockFi than you are of me?
BlockFi is my second favorite thing in the world behind Polina. They've got 3 products. They can give you a US dollar loan. You can earn up to 8.6% interest on an interest-bearing account, or you can buy and sell cryptocurrencies on their crypto exchange. I personally use the interest-bearing account. There's not very many places where you'll find up to 8.6% interest on a deposit in an interest-bearing account. Go do your own research. There's risk associated, but 8.6% is pretty compelling. So click on the link in the description. Say thanks to the folks at BlockFi. Subscribe to our channel. Like the video. Annoy Polina in the comments. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
And be kind to your friends.